physically driving down my street I feel a little bit
Oh,
safer than when I was on the interstate.
right?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll let
Yeah.
you take over and I can mute me.
Okay, I'll just do a little introduction here.
Yes, please.
I am extremely excited to have the opportunity to introduce Kaylee, which you guys have probably seen, most of you. Miss Kaylee is on the call tonight, and I'll let her share some of her story, but I am going to introduce part of that as
Will you
well.
wait 1 second, Jess? Wait 1 second. I'm trying to record, but I need permission from Jen. So I'm just gonna oh wait, Jen jumped on so she can hit record. Never mind, we're recording. Awesome. Keep going, Jess.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to try really hard not to lose you because I'm getting ready to pull into my garage. You guys, it has been quite a day, so thank you for your patience. But Miss Kaylee had decided last month that she was going to work the business, and she told me when she signed up as a coach that she was getting married and she didn't want to work yet and she was going to wait till after the summer and all of these things, right? Which is totally normal, and we hear that a lot. And some of you who are building your teams and who are getting coaches on your teams will hear that, like we're not quite ready yet, and that's totally fine. And then something happened to Miss Kaylee, and she decided that she was going to work the business, and I cannot wait to have her share her experience with her first month. And I'm hoping that she gives us all really great information on how she was able to hit Success Club 30 and how she has enrolled as of this week. So you guys, I am over the top excited to introduce one of my new coaches. I actually have 4 who are killing it right now, and I am like excited by just people they're helping and how they're leading with their heart, and it just makes me really excited. So without further ado, I'm going to let Miss Kaylee share her journey so far, her story, and then whatever else she feels led to talk to us about as far as her how she's been inviting, how she's running her challenge groups, because I've been able to be in those with her and kind of observing how she's doing live videos and talking to her challengers and how this giant thing is happening. And I'm hoping that she touches on all that. But I will ask questions if I feel like there's anything else that you need to talk about, Kaylee, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's listen. Here we go.
Thank you for the introduction. But hi, guys. So I reached out to Jessica back in January. I saw that she was a Beachbody coach. I had no idea what that was or what that entailed, but I saw that she looked super fit and she seemed really happy, and I was like, I want that. So I'm getting married in June 30th, and so that was kind of my initial drive, was like, I want to feel confident in my wedding dress and on my honeymoon. And so that's kind of where it started, with me just wanting to better myself. So I had zero interest or desire initially to go into coaching. I was just excited to try a new workout program. And so I did 80-Day Obsession in Jessica's group, or the first round, and I was just became obsessed. I was really hooked. I loved it. I love my body craves food every 2 to 3 hours now, with that program. And it was it was a game changer for me. So I fell in love with it. And Jessica reached out to me and asked if I was interested in coaching, that she just said that she kind of had it on her heart, that she thought it might be something that I would be interested in doing, just because I was so in love with the group. I loved having that accountability. I loved all of us, really motivating and encouraging each other. And so I really connected with, Jacqueline and other people that we had in our group. And so I was like, I want to recreate something like that. So that's when I kind of talked to Jessica about like, hey, can I do this too? I think that this would be really fun for me. For those of you that do not know, I'm a middle school teacher, so I teach preteens and early teens all day long. It's fun, it's exciting, but it's exhausting, and there's definitely great days, and then there's there's days that are a little bit crazy. I'm the FACS teacher, so I teach foods and nutrition, and I teach the fashion advertising and marketing kind of classes. So for me, being a Beachbody coach has really kind of merged really well with my other career, with teaching. I love to help people, and teaching or giving information has been kind of something that I've done every day for the last 7 years. But instead of just doing it with middle schoolers, I now get to do it with adult women, which has been amazing. And not just women, but so far everyone in my group has been female. So, but I love talking to adults because I've been talking to kids every day, like I said, for the last 7 years. And so this has been something that's been so positive in my life, not just because I'm helping other people better their health, but it's just been like fuel for my soul to have these positive relationships that are just so motivating. Like people that I have not talked to since, high school, or people that I have very, very little connection with at all, like from someone's cousin, sister, or whatever, reached out. That's been really cool to develop new relationships and friendships. And I know you guys already are successful. Most of you I already know have super successful groups, so I'm not saying anything new. You guys know how having those relationships make it amazing and make it worth it. But I guess the couple things that I think that maybe have made me have such a good first month was timing was huge. The way that it worked for me, I posted my 80-day obsession before and after picture along with my coming out as my coach post. So I feel like that attracted some people to be interested in wanting to know, like, oh my gosh, what did you do? So I do think that was part of it, was the timing. Like, they saw my before and after. I felt really confident and excited about what I had just done. And so I think that I really didn't have to do much the first couple days. I had people messaging me. So that part was easy. I guess just I took kind of a tip from Jessica, and what I did was I did a lot of voice memos. So I would get on my phone for anyone that commented, like, oh my gosh, what'd you do? I'm interested, or tell me what you just did. So I would talk to them. I wanted them to hear that I was excited. I wanted them to feel my energy, and it wasn't just like a random message that I forwarded to 100 people. So I think that having, taking that from Jessica was huge for success, because I think people then listen to it, they're like, oh, okay, she's a real person, this is something that she's excited about. So I think genuinely loving the program and people hearing that through me doing the voice memo on Facebook Messenger was a big part of that. For Instagram, I have 3 people that have bought a challenge pack from Instagram that I have no idea who they are, just random people on Instagram. And that was the most surprising to me. I did not think I would ever have a random person. I thought maybe I'd have a couple of my friends. I told Jessica, my goal was to have 3 to 4 people in my first group. And so this month I've been running an 80-day obsession group and a 21-day fix group. One has 18 and one has 20. So not every single one of those people bought a challenge pack. I think I have now, 20 people that have a challenge pack or something like that. But a couple of them just did a Beachbody on demand, or just did the Shakeology. So I put them in my group because right now I'm just, I started small, and so no one's in my group completely for free. But the group has been awesome. For me, it's been so much fun to see people post their pictures in there of their workout. I try to give everyone a task, just again, I'm taking tips from Jessica, whatever she did in the group, I'm just kind of recreating that and putting my own myself into it. I try to do little kitchen gadget tips. Like I showed in the, how to use a pineapple slicer, how easy it was for me. So I want people, can you guys hear the weed eater? Okay, good. My fiance's right outside the window weed eating right now. So that's great. Yep, sorry about that. So I think the voice memos were a good tip for me. I think being a product of the product and the timing was really good for me. People seeing the picture and seeing, how good I was feeling. I think consistency, I post something every day. I also try to do a variety, like not every day is just my workout. So like I might post a little short clip of my mom and I doing a 21-day fix workout together, and then I'll post the pineapple slicer another time, and then I'll be drinking my, what do I call it? Like my peanut butter bliss or whatever, Shakeology another day. So I try to show kind of different aspects. Yeah. Or drinking my water and talking about, how to hydrate. Part of how I post that, I use this little app on my phone called Clips. I don't know, honestly, Jessica asked me, Jessica, did you find out, is that something that's only for iPhone X, or were you able to download it?
I was actually able to download it. I started to look at it a little bit. I think that you probably have more options on yours than the app that I have. I did open it, but I haven't even.
Okay. I lost my internet for a minute. What was it called?
Clips.
And it's part of Facebook groups?
No, so this is just an app on my phone. It's called Clips. And so what I've been doing is I'll do little clips, like little video clips, but you can have like a page that has an intro. Like I might say, my Shakeology recipe, and it'll be like on a cute little piece of notebook paper typing my Shakeology or writing out my Shakeology recipe. And then I'll have a little clip of me making my Shakeology, and then it can end with like, the exact measurements like written out on that cute little notebook paper. So it's just a way that I have been kind of sharing information. So
Kaylee, it might be nice if you just picked one that you've shared in either your 21-day fix group or your 80-day obsession group. Just pick one you've already done.
Yeah.
If you put it into our team page, and then just let them know what that app is called.
Yeah.
CLIPS is what it is. And then that way, if people wanted to check it out, they could.
Perfect. Yeah,
she does these great little videos that, real quick, but they really eye-catching. And if you guys follow her on Instagram, you'll kind of get a really good sense of how she's already pulling in followers who she doesn't know, which is ultimately that's like my main goal, and I haven't even figured it out yet. But it's just that's where your cold market is. Those are where all the people are, right?
Yeah.
And so when you can make that transition, and so if you guys check out Kaylee, she actually has two. One is her personal life one, and then one is strictly like
I think it's called Kaylee Jane Fitness.
Yeah.
Like underscore fitness.
Yeah.
Or lifestyle and fitness. Let me look real quick.
Well, you can put that in the group too, just so people can see. But in that one, she'll have her fitness stuff, her life hacks,
Kaylee Jane _lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah. And I would encourage you guys to kind of check that out, because you'll get a really good sense when you look at her Instagram account for that lifestyle one. That's her fitness and her nutrition and all of that. You'll get a really good sense on, but that's kind of how she posts on Facebook. That's how she runs her groups. You'll see videos, you'll see pictures, you'll see food, you'll see recipes, all of those things. She gives really, really great content. So people are seeking her out because the content is really good. Sorry, keep going, sister.
No, well, hashtags have been something that I had never used before really on Instagram, or maybe it would just be something like one little cutesy, like hashtag, whatever, just something for fun, like more as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a caption. I didn't really realize that people could search you by hashtags, or if they're following a hashtag. So I use ones like nutrition. So like hashtag nutrition has several million people that follow it or use it. Hashtag fitness, hashtag lifestyle. So what I've done is like in notes on my phone, I've just copied like 20 different hashtags that I will typically use, and I pasted them in my notes, so I can just like copy that at the end of pretty much everything that I post now. And I went from like less than 200 followers to I have like 600 and some now in the last month. So it's not huge. I mean, there's people that have thousands of people, obviously, but like for me, I was like, I don't like that was surprising. And now one of the people that reached out to me about one of my before and after pictures, which mine was not like a super dramatic, crazy before and after. Like it was just, I mean, I feel great and my body changed, but it wasn't like something super crazy. But I think using the hashtags and then having the like variety of different things, I'm not really sure if that's what they're attracted to, or just seeing that. Like I try not to sound salesy, I guess, in anything that I post, just, you know, being genuine and excited. But yeah, so one of the girls who bought a challenge pack is now coaching under me. Like she is, and she's so excited about being a coach. And I invited her to join this, but I don't think she's on here right now. But and she already has people that are wanting to buy from her. So it's just kind of exciting how like someone that I would never have had any connection with, and it's not just about the business, like she's cool, like she's really cool, and she's from Oklahoma and has a cute little accent, and like she wants to come to my pineapple challenge party, you know, at the end of my, you know, it's just kind of, again, fun to build those relationships. But I did write down a couple things I thought I was going to say that I haven't said yet, so sorry, before I just keep rambling. I did want to say that timely responses for last month when I had the SC30, like that was because it was a full-time job for me. Like at that, like I was at school, you know, teaching, and then my phone would ding, or, you know, I had it on silent. I looked down and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need to respond to this. And so like making sure that my students are okay. But like, I did not want to wait more than like 5 or 10 minutes before responding to someone, because I wanted them to feel like I care about your needs. And so this month the projects my students are doing right now are not things that I can just like sit here and communicate with somebody. Like it's taken a back seat. Like I'm at SC10 today, and I'm super excited about that still, but that's different than SC30 because I have not dedicated as much time to it. So I can definitely say that when you put in the time, even when you're like going to bed, messaging and talking in voicemail, and then you're waking up and you're in the shower and you're sending messages. And I mean, I feel like it was just, I spent every second of my life to be like successful last month. So I'm just being honest, like it did take, it wasn't just timing or just people reaching out to me. Like I had to put quite a bit of time into that. And so I'm trying to find the balance this month, especially getting married next month, trying to find that balance of, okay, I want to be successful. I want to reach as many people as possible. But I've also been focusing more on my groups and like maintaining happiness with the current people that are in my challenge groups instead of focusing so much on getting people to join my groups. So I would like to get advice from you guys who have been doing this longer than I am, like how, like for balancing and for maintaining happiness with the people you currently have and getting them excited and feeling like you're giving them the time while also reaching out. Because like I got my people and now I want to build my people, but do I need to keep getting, you know, it's kind of I'm still figuring that out since I'm on my second month right now. So I don't know if you have any suggestions or what do you think I should do about that? Do I just keep going, you know, hardcore, or do I take a back seat?
I'll speak to that. Kaylee, first of all, thank you so much for sharing just your story and how you've gotten started. I think the important parts that I heard out of what you said, first one is that you have been a product of the product, which we all know we hear and we are doing, right? And then to share that journey, whether that was sharing your transformation. I know yours all kind of happened really quickly because you really came out, announced that you were a Beachbody coach, and then shared your transformation right after that. Mm-hmm. So she was kind of real strategic on how she shared her first story, really, with the world, if you will. But being a product of the product, she's sharing constantly about what she's doing. She's not afraid to do it live. She's not afraid to show it via videos she makes, whether they're pictures or posts or whatever. And it's constantly changing, which I think keeps people interested as well. She's doing a really good job with Instagram stories. So like it's just all kind of playing a part. I think it's really important that she said that she worked the entire month to hit SC30. She had a lot of conversations to bring in 15 people, actually more than that, but 15 challenge packs. You know what I'm saying? So she had conversation after conversation after conversation. And Monica and I have, well, and Becky and Jen too. Monica's really great about talking about how it is a numbers game. So if you expect to hit SC10, you have to talk to more than 10 people.
Right.
You know, you got to talk to a lot of people, whether that's just having conversations with them, whether that's having relationship building, conversations, whether that's finding out more information about their families or their children or what their wants or dislikes, all these things. You have to talk to a lot of people in order to hit those big goals that I think all of us in this team kind of have, right? Whether those big goals for you are SC5, whether those big goals are SC10, whether those big goals are being the top 10 in the company. Whatever it is for you, you have to have conversations with people. And that is what Kaylee did. And she made it very clear that she was working a lot on top
Don't
of
tell
her.
my boss.
Yeah. On top of her full-time job, right? On top of planning a wedding and getting like all of these things. And I like how this made me laugh actually when she was saying that she's only at SC10 right now, which.
Well, I didn't mean to say like only, like I am excited about that. Like that's 5 people, but.
No, I know you're excited about it. I know you are. I'm just saying like that says something about Kaylee, right? That she's already having these conversations even as the new month starts, like she's continuously doing that. Now to speak to what do I do now that I have these people and I'm running these challenge groups and I'm building relationships within the challenge group, that has to continue. Because the one thing that we do not want to do is to sell someone a challenge pack, put them in our group, and then forget about them.
Mm-hmm.
That is the worst possible thing we could ever do to people. And that happens to people all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's through Beachbody or a different company or whatever. And that's why people are a little bit shy or pushed away when it comes to companies who are trying to get them to purchase something, right? Because then they're like, great, I'm going to buy this and then I'm going to be out there on my own doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the relationship, in my opinion, is the key to continuously moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
You just continue to ask new people. So you're loving on these people because you already put them in a safe place where you're building that relationship and that trust. And what are we going to do next? And what's the next program we're going to do? And how can I support you? And how can I love you? Right? Because they're in those places already, getting the support that they need from you. And then you're inviting more people to come on into that circle. Right? And sometimes I think we get a little bit guarded sometimes about we're trying to protect these people. What if this person I don't know wants to come in and they ruin the group, right? And that is a valid thing. It has happened. It's normal, but we have to give people the opportunity to be that. Whether you start a different group or you feel like, this new group of people I'm going to be doing To Be Mindset with instead of 80-Day Obsession, like there's a place for everybody. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out that safe, beautiful place for each one of those people. But we continue to have conversations. And that could mean that, like today, I didn't work today, you guys. My life is crazy right now. It didn't happen. That just means that tomorrow I'm probably going to contact more people.
Right.
So I can make up those numbers, so that I can personally continue to have conversations and build relationships. So that's kind of my 2 cents. And finding a balance, honestly, that is about you and your life and trying to figure out what that looks like for you. Mm-hmm. And as your team grows, then it's a different balance. So then you have to kind of figure out now what's it going to look like. And I've discovered over the last 2.5 years, it's constantly changing, right? Sometimes I'm spending more time trying to figure out how to teach my team. And other times I'm trying to recruit new coaches. And other times I'm focusing on recruiting new clients so that I can start new challenge groups. So it really is just trying to figure out what your people need and what's best for you and your family and how it fits in there.
Mhm.
And sometimes there are days where I can't work because my family always comes first, always. And I will put them first. And then I may have to do extra hustle later on, or it doesn't happen. And it's just my own personal journey. So I get to decide what that looks like. And I think that that's okay for people to know that if you hit SC, I had 24 last month. That's a big number for me personally. 24 is a big number. Well, this month, I think I'm sitting at 8 right now. I'm okay with that. I have a lot of month left, right? I have a lot of people I can still talk to. That doesn't mean I'm not going to work anymore because I'm at SC8. Like, I'm not going to stop because then your momentum slows down. And that's one thing you don't want to have happen is your momentum slowing down, because then you're trying to really dig back out of that the next month. And that's when you get frustrated, like, no one's talking to me this month and I'm at SC2 and I only have a week left. And then you're trying to hit that goal of SC6 or something. So I encourage the conversations to happen all the time, because then the momentum can swing and it stays up. Anybody have other comments on that? Monica or Becky, you want to go ahead?
I was just going to add, first of all, Kaylee, you're awesome, and it is just so great to have you here. So congratulations to do all that. That's amazing. So thank you for that. What I was going to say is, I don't know if anybody got on the National Wake Up Call this week. I can never say her name, Maura, whatever her name. I can't. But if you did, she said something that I absolutely loved, and she said most coaches do some of the things, but rarely do coaches do all of the things. And when she said that, I bolded it, wrote it really big. I'm like, that is so key, because this business, and you'll hear it time and time again, it is so simple with the 4 vital behaviors. It's just about doing that, showing up every single day and doing those things. In and of itself, those things are very, very simple. But most of us just do some of those things, and maybe we'll do all of them except for inviting, which is really hard for us. And so I think to keep your momentum, like what Jess was saying, and even whatever her name was said, momentum is key. So the fact that you have that right now, just keep going. You don't have to answer phone calls in the shower and do all that kind of stuff, but keep, which is amazing. You're awesome, but just keep that momentum going. And I think, this business, I always tell, my people too, that it's a compound effect. What you do the month before is going to show up in the next month. So in April, I worked my butt off. I think I ended up at SC8 maybe. And now I'm sitting at 14 and I signed up 2 coaches. And that is a product of not just the products that we get to show people and share with people, but I worked so hard in April, and I knew that those, the seeds were going to be planted and then the fruit was going to come. And so if we do that every single day, it's going to be this constant flourishing of stuff. And we'll never feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lull. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Yes, that's awesome. I love the idea of the planting the seeds. So even when I thought that inviting was going to be really hard for me, that I was going to be personally, they never responded. I thought I was going to be really sad, and I haven't felt sad once about that yet. And there's lots of people that did not respond to me. But I think, because I know that they're still liking a lot of my content. They're still liking my pictures, even though they didn't respond to my message. So, maybe it's just going to take a little bit of time for them to see, this is, it's something that's going to be consistent. It's not a 1 month thing, and then I'm not living that lifestyle anymore. Maybe they're just kind of seeing what's she doing now? I don't know. I like the idea of planting the seed, because maybe they're not ready now, but they could be in a couple months. So yes, thank you.
That's really, really important. And having been here for a while, you will discover if you are consistent and you're doing those things like Monica said, with the National Wake Up Call and Maura, when she was talking about how, Maura, she's amazing, by the way. I got to meet her. So did Jacqueline, and so did Kaylee. She's incredible, but she's right. We have so many of us, or people in general will do some of the things, but not all of the things. And so if you can be consistent, even if that is 2 people a day or 3 people a day, you're inviting, those numbers don't seem big, but the compound effect of having 3 people every day for 30 days, like that's a big number, right? But I had a point here and I can't remember what my point was.
Well, while you think of your point, because I'm sure it was good. I wanted to say something to Kaylee that was something other coaches have shared, is that, you know, some coaches sort of focus on something each week of the month. So maybe week 1 is I'm going to do a bunch of inviting and just try to get a couple people interested. Then I'm going to focus really hardcore on loving on my challengers. Then I'm going to focus on my coaches. Then there's some coaches that do a little bit each day, where they spend a little bit of time. So kind of finding what works best for you, because there's not going to be something that's going to work great for everybody. But letting one of those drop will affect your momentum and how you're feeling and being able to bless people. One of the things I would love, Kaylee, for you to speak to, because I think it's the number one thing that new coaches and any coaches struggle with, is the fear of what people are going to think from their posts on social media and the rejection. And I've spoken about this before, so people don't want to hear me again, but just sort of that mindset. What's your why for posting, and how do you push through that, any of those thoughts? Maybe you don't have them, but I know a lot of people often do have that, or think, why would anybody care? And clearly people care because they're liking and commenting and they're getting on board with these groups that you're running. So I'm curious kind of how you can speak to that.
Okay. You know, like I said, I thought the inviting was going to be the hardest part for me. I really was nervous about it. And then, I don't know, something just kind of, I guess, flipped in my brain. I'm not sure why, but I just thought my life has improved, and I know I feel better and I feel happier. And if someone doesn't want to join me in that, then, you know, I didn't feel angry or upset. I just was like, well, they're just missing out. And so I don't know how I really flipped the switch. I felt like I'm excited and I'm comfortable with where I'm at, and I want to share that with people. And I think getting some positive feedback. I mean, I have really supportive friends and family that when I post videos or things, like, they give me lots of love, and they, you know, put hearts on my live videos, and they'll say things that, like, make me feel encouraged and supportive. So I think having kind of your tribe of people, you know, like having my Beachbody tribe, you know, Jessica, again, has been such an encouraging, like, coach. So I think, and I know I can go to anybody and ask questions I don't know how to answer. But for me, I guess, since I feel so supported and I feel loved, that was enough for me, that even if it was like 5 people that loved my, you know, live video, that was great. Okay, well, 5 people are getting some type of joy out of what I'm posting. So it made it worth the fear of rejection or someone not posting. And I don't know, I just really try to focus on who is responding versus who's not responding. So like right now, if you asked me, like in my messenger, like there's probably 15, 20 people that haven't responded in the last week, but I don't even know, I can't even really remember necessarily who it is. Like, I know, okay, well, Elena today said, like, oh, okay, can you tell me more about that? Or when did you say you're, you know, like, I know who did respond. And so I just try to focus on, like, you know, building that up versus the negative, I guess. And you asked me about my why. Is that?
Well, yeah, just like what you were saying, and you say you don't really know what you're doing, but I think you answered it, that your mindset is, that the way you're speaking to yourself, and what you're saying is that, you know, you're focusing on the people that you get to help. You're focusing on the 5 people that liked, you gave joy to, not on the people that did comment or didn't like it.
Yes.
So I think, you know, you answered it in your mindset, that you have chosen. And so I'm assuming your why kind of comes through. Your why for doing this is how it's changed your life, and you're happy and joyful about it and want to share.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I feel so much better than I have felt. And I want to share that with everybody. So you're exactly right. And also, like, my hope is that in the next 2 years, I want to start a family with my new husband, and I would love to have the opportunity to be able to stay home with my kids. And I think that's really like giving me the push right now to, like, I want to not only be successful like financially, but I want to feel like if I were to leave my job in a couple of years, would I still feel like connected to the outside world? Like, I wanted to still feel like I would have like a purpose other than, and I'm sure motherhood will be amazing, but I wanted to have something else too, so I feel like that's also part of my push right now. And I haven't really shared that with many people because I do love my job now, and I love my students, and I don't want my teacher friends to think that I'm leaving the best profession in the world. It is awesome, but my teaching, I feel like I love foods and nutrition. That's why I teach FACS classes. I like knife skills and things like that, and I love advertising and marketing and fashion, and I feel like I would get to do a lot of that with this program, and I'm still getting to teach others and have those relationships. So I feel like the parts of my job that I love at school, I would be able to utilize with Beachbody too. So I want to kind of show myself like, hey, is this something that I could do full time forever? And right now I'm feeling like this is definitely long term. This is not just like I had one good month, that was fun. Okay, time to move on. So I guess that's kind of my why right now, is I want to show myself that this is, my path. Like I really feel passionate about it, and I'm excited about it. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. I got my thought back. So I was saying, when she was talking about, maybe it was you, Becky, that said, or Monica, about planting the seeds, right? And those of us who've been coaches for a while can probably attest to the fact that we may have invited someone 8 months ago who never responded to our invite, right? Who never pretended like they never saw it. And I also do not get offended by that, because my thought is always, it's not ready. They're not ready right now. That doesn't mean that they won't be ready in 6 weeks or 2 months. Or I've had people literally who I invited over a year and a half ago, who now are ready. And I just want people to know that I'm not going anywhere. And so when they are ready, I'm here for them. So that's kind of my ultimate goal, is just to continuously show up, be consistent, take care of myself, because the whole reason I started this was for my own health and wellness, and so that I could be a better role model to my children. I could have a healthier family, right? All of those things. So realistically, it started selfishly because I wanted it for me. And then it has just grown into this beautiful thing that I can pay forward to other people who I also care and love, and all of those things. And just as you said, Kaylee, it's almost like you feel so good, you want everyone else to feel that, right? And I feel like when you can express that passion, if everybody just felt as good as I do on the inside, right? Because that's where I'm at. Like, if I could tell everybody how good I feel and they could feel like that too, then I want them to be a part of it. And people can sense that. They know if you're being genuine. They know if you're excited about life. They can tell. And so to express that to them and share that with them, and like I do tell my coaches to use the voice messenger or call people. Oh my gosh, like, who would have thought you could like pick up a phone and actually call people still? You can do that, right? It doesn't just have to be a text. People like to hear the excitement and the changes and the results that you're getting because you are living it. And so I do feel like if you invite today and you don't hear from them, or they're not ready today, that does not mean that they won't be ready someday. And when they are, you want to be the face that they think of when that moment hits them.
And I'm going to piggyback right from that, Jess, because I think that's the thing people often say is they're like, our posts on social media are not to sell challenge packs. Our posts on social media are to add value to people's lives, and are to attract the kind of people that we want to have in our groups, and the people that we want to connect with and want to spend time with and want on our team. And so the reason we post is that people know our heart. They know who we are. So when they're ready to respond to an invitation, or they're ready to reach out to us, they can see what we're about. And I think the reason that sometimes when new coaches start is that they're so afraid that what people are going to say or are going to think, or they don't get a lot of likes and a lot of comments. What I think happens is because there's lots of other companies out there selling or all this other stuff, and some of it's really great stuff, is that people have this understandable fear that this person's just going to, do this for a second and then go somewhere else. Like, they want to see, is this person really in it? Or just something just new that they're trying. And so that's what we put out there, is we put out, this is something that we're going to do and we're going to be here. And each time someone says not right now, I will say, absolutely understand what, would it be okay with you if I checked in with you and see how you're doing next month or the month after? Absolutely, that would be great. And then we do that and they're like, wow, you actually did. Right. And I think that's the thing. When people see that what we're doing is because this has changed our life and we care about other people's lives, and then get a recipe from us or inspiration from us, we're going to stay on their minds, and they're going to be curious about what it is that we're doing. And there's ebb and flows in all of us. I mean, Jess was just saying, she and I started about the same time. It's been 2.5 years. And, where I imagined I would be right now I'm not there. But that's what's so cool about it, is I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is where it's supposed to be. And that's okay. And we don't have to know that. And I think there's no point at which you can say, you can regret anything that's happened. Just say, I'm here right now. Who can I ask tomorrow? Whose life can I change tomorrow? It's one of the things I do in my quiet time, is who do I get to bless today? By a post, by something in the group, whatever it is. And if you keep that mindset, who you can bless today, and you keep connecting with people in your groups and inviting, and you do that consistently, again, it's not necessarily about working hours and hours every day. It's consistently a little bit over time. That compound effect, I think Jess or Moni said that, is going to change other people's life and change your life. But if you let the fear and the doubt and the uncertainty and the judgment get in the way, it will keep any of that from happening. I'm going to get on my soapbox, so I should just be done. Anybody have other questions or anything they had on their minds or wanted to talk about, or struggle they're having, or?
Yeah, questions on how things are going, or discussing.
Or like what do I say in an invite? How do I do it? Anything like that, because I feel like that is probably number one thing. We can probably do our workout, drink our Shakeology, read something, but that inviting can be really tricky. I know I never wanted to ask questions either. Why don't, just for the fun of it, at least I can make Monica and Jessica do it, because I can. And I'm going to ask Kaylee kindly, and I'll do it as well. Just something really quick that you might do as an invite. Maybe someone that hasn't liked or commented anything specifically related to fitness that you might just reach out to. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Jess. What might be something you'd voice message to somebody?
Who, me?
Or I'll go if I'm really putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's all right. Typically mine, I tell you guys this all the time. So if you're a new person, this is something new, but if you've been one of my people and listened to me talk, then you'll know I say this every single time. So before I start inviting, I sit down on my computer and I say a prayer, and I just ask God to bring the people forth who I need to talk to. That's how I start it. And if that person's name comes up either in my mind or on my computer, or somehow it shows up to me that that person needs to hear from me that day, then I send them a voice message. And that could be somebody who I haven't talked to in 5 years, which is very uncomfortable, or that could be a person who I just saw at the grocery store yesterday. So it looks different because I speak from my heart. So if that person shows up to me and I haven't talked to them in 5 years, then what I typically do is I look at their Facebook page and I see what they've been up to. And then I'll send them a voice message like, oh my gosh, I just saw your Facebook page and your kids had no idea that you had a 13-year-old and a whatever. Our daughters are the same age. That's it. Done. And then perhaps it's a person that I just saw at the grocery store is the other person that came up in my mind that I was supposed to talk to. And I may just say, hey, it was so good to see you in the grocery store yesterday. We should probably get together for drinks or grab coffee sometime. I'd love to know what you've been up to lately, blah, blah, blah. If I'm inviting somebody because they've shown interest or talked to me at all about health or fitness, then I'm inviting them to my next challenge group. So I may just send a voice message like, hey, it was so good to see you the other day. I loved hearing what you were talking about as far as running a 5K next weekend. I didn't know if you're interested or not, but I have a new group that's starting. I just finished a program called 80-Day Obsession, which I am obsessed about. And I have a new group starting. If you want to hear any information, I'd love to share it with you. Done. And I know Becky is very strategic about asking the question at the end so that they come back. I do sometimes, I don't always. It's just truly whatever is on my heart comes out, because I feel like if I'm speaking from my heart, people can feel that, and then they're more apt to respond back. But again, I also have people who I talk to, like To Be Mindset was the big push that I was trying to get people into, that group that I started with Monica on Monday. And I had 3 people said they wanted to do it, they were ready, and then I sent them the thing and they were like crickets. You guys, I am not offended by that. that does not hurt my feelings. And sometimes people can get caught on I invited them, they said they wanted to do it, and then they didn't do it. You just got to keep talking to more people, you guys. Just keep talking to more people. And then you follow back up with that person. And if there's still crickets, guess what? They go on my list to follow up with later. That doesn't mean I don't speak to them ever again. That just means that right now in this moment, something is bigger than my invite, right? And if they wanted to do it and then they didn't follow through with it, they're just not ready at that moment. So that's kind of how I do my invites, or does that help? I don't know if I even answered the question correctly, but
Great.
Okay, that's kind of how I do things.
I think it's good for people to hear organically what you do.
I think it's important, and I tell my coaches this all the time, you have to have something to invite to. You have to have something, like you should already be thinking about what's the next thing that I'm going to do. Is it going to be a To Be Mindset group? Is it going to be, a free nutrition group? You have to have a place to invite people to. So if you're not running challenge groups, either by yourself or with a partner or a pod of people, we've got to get you doing that. Because if you don't have a place to invite to, then you're not going to want to invite, because you don't have a purpose or a passion to invite them to this incredible opportunity, right? So you always have to have a place to invite them to. So if you need help with challenge groups, as your coaches, we would love to help you with that. So don't ever feel like, nervous or scared, or that you don't know how to do that, because we will take your hand and do it with you if that's what needs to happen. And I have some really, like Jacqueline, strong challenge groups. Kaylee has strong challenge groups. So these 2 rockstar coaches that I currently have in the call, they're perfect people to private message after this and say, how do you guys run your challenge groups? Because
or to ask them, say, can I be a fly on the wall in your challenge group and see what you're doing?
Yes. They'll put you in there. I know they would. And you don't even have to contribute. You can just kind of watch how they run their challenge groups. But I think it's important that we're always learning from each other. So, yes. So if you need help, but you should always have a place to have somebody invited to. I hope that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Monica, do you want to quick share? I really want to stick to our 9 o'clock time. Monica, do you want to quick just share like what you might say in a message to somebody?
I'll try to be quick. You know how I can get. It's like Jess. It's organic. It's different every single time. But the most basic one I do is just it's usually a conversation that I pick up. I spend the first week of the month just conversations, talking to people. That is what I do the first week of the month. And then the second week I come in and I pick up very organically from where, we stopped. And I was like, hey, by the way, I completely forgot to tell you, me and a few girlfriends of mine, I'm doing this group with them. Just want to share like healthy tips, blah, 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 just very general. I thought of you. I think you would be really amazing. It'd be really great to connect with you in this way. Would you like to join? That's like the most generic one. A lot of times what I do is I'm just watching who's liking my stuff, and I'll just say, thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot, especially, this is a huge passion of mine, and I really just appreciate it. I leave it at that. And then another quick one that I do is the birthday thing. You know how Facebook does the birthday thing? I've shared this tip before. If it's someone's birthday, whether you know them, don't know them, I'm always just like, hey, private message, happy birthday. Do you know how many challenge packs I've sold because I said happy birthday to somebody? because they're like, oh, I've been watching you, blah, 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 blah. So it's not very creative, but that's just kind of, it just gets the conversation going.
Awesome. Go ahead, Kaylee.
This is why I'm successful. My fiance just made me dinner, brought it in, said I portioned it out, and handed me a bowl. That's why I'm successful, because of his support. And he knew I was very tired, and it's 8 o'clock, and I haven't had my last meal yet. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
You should marry him next month.
I think I should marry him.
Yeah, you should do that.
Mine's very similar, I feel like, to both what Jessica and Monica said, what I've done so far. I haven't sent messages to people that have not shown any interest yet. Like, everyone that I've messaged, though, has been someone that either commented or liked something, just because that's where I'm at in my second month. You know, eventually you have to go past that. But, you know, I might say something like, hey, girl, thank you so much for all the love on my recent posts. I'm just so excited about, you know, starting to coach, and I think this is such a great, you know, opportunity for me, and I would love to have you join my next group. And then I might say something like, I'm gonna have 21-day fix and 80-day obsession start next Monday, and you know, we have so much fun, and I just think, you know, you would love it, or whatever, you know. And then I have done what Jessica does. If I see something specific on their page, I'll say something like, I can't believe you got to go to Vegas and see Justin Timberlake. Like, I'm so jealous. Or, you know, make a genuine comment. Like, if I didn't like Justin Timberlake, then I wouldn't say that. But to try to find something that I can relate with them about. Or, like, right now in my immediate group, I have a lot of people that I went to high school with that are just now having babies. And so I have like 5 people in my 21-day fix group that just had babies. And so now that I have those people, I'm kind of reaching out to other people that just had babies, because I'm like, hey, I have a few, you know, of our friends from school that just had babies too. And, you know, they're kind of starting this mom group, a new mom group, and really supporting one another. So trying to kind of like tie people in. And I've been lucky enough to have people that have started a group with me, like, hey, my coworker wants to join. Or so that's worked out nicely for me, as like word of mouth from other people. So that's all.
And I think one of the things that's so great about that is that, again, the reason people want to join is because of the energy and excitement that you share, that, and that your groups really are that, and which is really what is so exciting, is when you're pouring into your groups. And that means they're going to want to stay, or going to want to invite any you know, other people that might want to join it too. So thanks for sharing. And I know we have like 1 minute left, but thanks, Kaylee, for sharing your journey. And I think, you know, it shows that people think Beachbody coaching is oversaturated. There's nobody else to help, but you guys, it's just not true. There are countless people to help, and most of the people that need help aren't going to reach out to you and comment or like on your posts. They're not going to be people that are going to feel comfortable doing it. They're not going to think you're actually inviting them and building them, you know, happy birthday, sending them comments. You know, compliment, comment, question are a great way to reach other people,
Yeah.
build relationships. You don't have to cold message someone like we get messages saying, hey girl, I think you love this new product. We don't do that. You like and comment, you have regular conversations, and then a week or two later, whatever it is, you will organically invite them to something you're excited about, your new group. Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, just like you guys said, another tip I have that I've been using with some success is, I need to apologize. We were just chatting about blah, 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 and I'm sitting here working on my group and I haven't invited you, whatever it is. And again, like Jessica says, whether it works or not, I typically end all my voice messages or my type messages with blessings. And does that sound like something that would benefit you? And that's a hard thing for someone to say a flat out no to. And like, let me know or keep in touch. People aren't going to. So saying, would that be something that would benefit you? Most of the time I get, yes, I don't know, tell me more, or not right now. But any of that will keep a conversation going. So anyways, I really want to end on that. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. It's so great, especially us that have been doing it a while. It's exciting to hear what people are doing. And so thanks, Kaylee and Jess and everybody for being on. And Jen for recording. I'm going to message her and let her know that we're done. So yeah, And also, anybody that is doing To Be Mindset, Sunday at 8:30 to 9, we have a call every Sunday to talk about that too. So,
Perfect. Can I take a
All
photo
right.
real quick?
yeah.
All right. Smile, everybody. Okay. And Brian's gone, I guess. All right. Here we go. Got you.
Good night, girls.
Good
Good night.
night.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.